Cohen, in his testimony, alleged that Donald Trump is a racist, something that most Americans already know. Now, Representative Mark Meadows didn't like that line of attack, so he used someone who works for Trump's Housing and Urban Development Department as a prop, a woman by the name of Lynne Patton, who happens to be black. Now, following that display, Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib gets into it with Meadows, and it was fantastic. Take a look.
Just to make a note, Mr. Chairman, just because someone has a person of color, a black person working for them, does not mean they aren't racist. And it is insensitive that some would even say it's the fact that someone would actually use a prop, a black woman, in this chamber, in this committee, is alone racist in itself. Donald Trump is setting a precedent.
Mr. Chairman, I ask that her words be taken down.
Donald Trump is setting a precedent. I reclaim my time.
Mr. Chairman,
Trump is setting a precedent.
Mr. Chairman,
that the highest office can be attained.
Mr. Chairman, the rules are clear.
Activity. Cover up and hold on to business assets to break campaign finance laws and constitutional clauses.
Mr. Chairman, I ask that her words, when she's referring to an individual member of this body, be taken down and stricken from the record. I'm sure she didn't intend to do this, but if anyone knows my record as it relates, it should be you, Mr. Chairman.
Would you like to rephrase that statement, Ms. Tlaib?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I can actually read it from here, and I can submit this for the record. If a colleague is thinking that that's what I'm saying, I'm just saying that's what I believe to have happened. And if, as a person of color in this committee, that's how I felt at that moment, and I wanted to express that. But I am not calling the gentleman, Mr. Meadows, a racist for doing so. I'm saying that in itself, it is a racist act.
Well, I hope not, Mr. Chairman, because I need to be clear on this particular. Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Meadows, wait a minute.
I've defended you
Mr. Meadows,
with false accusations.
Mr. Meadows, I'm the chair.
Yes, sir, you are.
Thank you. Right. I will clear this up.
Oh my God! Oh my God! That was amazing! That was amazing! I hadn't seen that. I gotta be honest, like, I hadn't seen that yet. I hadn't seen that yet. This is my first reaction.
Yeah. No, that's justice in the house. Okay, so
oh my God.
So there's so many wonderful parts of that, but I love how indignant he gets. Now notice she didn't say that he was a racist, and because that is not allowed in Congress, which it totally should be because there's a lot of racists in Congress, she said if someone were to do this, some would say, and by the way, earlier in the day, I had said it, so she's technically correct. Some did say it, I said it, that using her as a prop was a racist thing to do.
Oh my God, that was amazing. And I love how hurt Representative Meadows is over the thought of someone calling him what he is, right? Like, it's just, I love it, and I love like Representative Cummings with the gavel. Mr. Meadows, yes. Okay, we're not even done. That's just the beginning of the interaction. We have more. Yeah. Do you want to go to the next one? Let's take a look.
Now, Ms. Tlaib, I want to make sure I understand. You were not intending to call Mr. Meadows a racist, is that right?
No, Mr. Chairman, I do not call Mr. Meadows a racist. I am trying, as a person of color, Mr. Chairman, just to express myself and how I felt at that moment. And so, just for the record, that's what was my intention.
All right.
There's nothing more personal to me than my relationship. My nieces and nephews are people of color. Not many people know that. You know that, Mr. Chairman. And to indicate that I asked someone who is a personal friend of the Trump family, who has worked for him, who knows this particular individual, that she's coming in to be a prop, it's racist to suggest that I asked her to come in here for that reason. And Mr. Chairman, you and I have a personal relationship that's not based on color. And to even go down this direction is wrong, Mr. Chairman.
First of all, I want to thank the gentleman for what you have stated. If there's anyone who is sensitive with regard to race, it's me.
Okay, I take back the props for Representative Cummings.
No, he went on and on.
No, I know. Okay,
and they're friends, whatever. Okay.
No. I got to call out one thing. I am shocked that you would allege that I would bring Miss Patton to Washington, D.C., all the way from New York for that reason. Then what did you bring her for?
Yeah, was there a second reason?
Like, don't insult the intelligence of members of Congress and our intelligence, because that is literally the only reason why you brought her. What other purpose was she there for?
And it's worse than just, like, he could have brought her in as a witness, but he didn't. He had her standing up there like a prop. Look at this black person I displayed before you, right? And now she's not allowed to say anything, okay? But so she works for Trump, and that proves obviously that Trump's not racist. I couldn't tell if he's saying that it was outrageous that she called him a racist in the middle there, or if he was saying that accusing him of that is being racist, in which case I need it stricken from the record. I mean, think about how funny that is too. If you're insulted, you demand that it be stricken from the record. Right?
Oh, she's so hurt.
Okay. And when he said, look, I got nephews who are people of color, right? Do you mean nephews or you mean nephews? Okay. But I don't know. He's like talking about, here's a person who works for Trump, and I have nephews.
Some of my best friends are black.
Okay, some of my best nephews are black.
So they're not done yet. One more video.
Mr. Meadows, you know, and of all the people on this committee, I've said it and got in trouble for it, that you're one of my best friends. I know that shocks a lot of people.
And likewise, Mr. Chairman.
But you are. And I could see and feel your pain. I feel it. And so, and I don't think Ms. Tlaib intended to cause you that kind of pain and that kind of frustration. Did you have a statement, Ms. Tlaib? I'm going to yield to you. We can just straighten this up.
Mr. Chairman, and to my colleague, Mr. Meadows, that was not my intention, and I do apologize if that's what it sounded like, but I said someone in general. And as everybody knows in this chamber, I'm pretty direct, so if I wanted to say that, I would have, but that's not what I said. And thank you, Mr. Chairman, for allowing me to clarify. But again, I said someone. And again, I was not referring to you at all as a racist.
Well, I thank the gentlewoman for her comments. I thank the chairman.
Yeah, look, this is Congress, and it's super annoying. And she's not allowed to say it, that's why she has to pull it back. Did she intend it? Hell yeah, she meant it. Of course she intended it, okay? And she did it in a clever enough way where they could not officially sanction her. Bless her heart. We all see you. Okay.
So let's just adjudicate whether or not Mark Meadows is racist.
Yes. Okay.
And we brought receipts, we have evidence, and I give you Exhibit A.
When the more we find out, the more we realize how wrong the direction we're going. And so what we're going to do is take back our country. 2012 is the time that we're going to send Mr. Obama home to Kenya or wherever it is. We're going to do it.
So that is a video from 2012. We're going to send Mr. Obama home to Kenya or wherever it is.
Yeah. I can't believe anybody would call me a racist. I'm so, some of my friends, not best friends, we're kind of, a little bit. I got a niece. Anyways, I'll make another black person stand up here. I'll make him stand up here, okay, to prove I'm not racist. So, okay, Mr. Non-Racist, why did you want to send Obama back to Kenya where he's not from? Okay, and that's a birther conspiracy theory. He's got a Tea Party bus right behind him. Okay, so full boat. It doesn't matter if he even got into the birther conspiracy theory, which is definitely racist. He just said, you heard it with your own ears. Send him back to Kenya. All right, okay.
Yeah.
So, and look, let me be clear about this too. It doesn't mean that Mark Meadows is racist in everything he does. And he hates all black people, and it's all a trick. And so when he's having lunch with Representative Elijah Cummings, he doesn't mean any of it. No, he could have a good relationship with Elijah Cummings because he views him as in the club, and now Cummings might not have the same perception at all, right? So I'm not putting anything on him. I'm just saying that Meadows could be decent to some African Americans and still have views that are stereotypes, tropes, and yes, racist. And so those are not mutually exclusive. And I think that Republicans, they're funny because they want credit for, hey, I was nice to some black people. I was nice to some black people. That should count for something. That's a low bar, dude. Super low bar. And by the way, I want to give credit to a TYT member that sent us that video. Baker Brigade sent that in, and we would not have seen it otherwise. We do this show together. I love that you did that.
One final comment, and it's in regard to the final video we showed you with the exchange involving Tlaib. Look, Representative Cummings specifically responded to the expression on Meadows' face and said, I can see the pain. I can see the pain that you're feeling right now. And it's incredible because how do we get to a situation in which the victim here is this white man who has a position of power in our government?
Yeah, and look, that's what gets us frustrated. Again, I don't want to talk too much about Elijah Cummings in this context because he's a great guy and he's done some wonderful things. But they've spent a lot of time working together, and they have all these rules, and the gentlewoman this and the gentleman that.
It's unbearable. Yeah.
But what it does create is a situation where African Americans who are justifiably aggrieved at something that clearly happened, even if Mark Meadows is not racist at his core, whatever that means, what he did in using an African American woman as a prop is a racist act, right? But somehow it turns into everybody having to apologize to Mark Meadows.
I know, it's amazing.
No, that's what drives us crazy, and that's what's wrong with this power structure. And yes, a lot of Republican right-wing, white males will come away from these hearings like, can you believe how much we were the victims? The TYT Plus app is now available on iOS and Android. Download to get more TYT content at tyt.com/app.